I remember even on the panel, it was a little bit of a, not debate, but the idea thoughts become matter. I remember
Yep.
you are very much a proponent of that, and I do completely agree with you that, your beliefs become your reality, and it's a big part of it. How much of the idea of intention while you're receiving treatments, especially the Biohack Lab with you, how much does that play a role in the overall success of a treatment?
Huge. In
Yeah.
fact, I even give them their stem cells before I infuse them, and I have them imbue their intention into
I
others.
love that. We do the same. I have a little sticky note that I we give them that they could put on the bags or any with that I am healing, I'm strong. Yeah.
And
Some
so
people laugh at it, but again,
I try
it's
to make them
powerful.
do it. And then after a while, they're like, oh, you know,
Yep. Yeah.
because they haven't been given permission to say, what do I want? What do I want with these guys? And everything is about, well, I don't want to say everything is about intention, but it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be verbalized and like, oh, I want just to this. But the intention may just to be open to healing. It may just, or there's that word healing again. um, Open to receiving actually would be even if
Yes.
it, for most people, we have a hard time receiving. And so I do IV ketamine therapies as well, and that is the only way that experience goes. Not the only way, but that is what allows that experience to be so impactful, is to be open to possibilities, open to seeing things differently. Um, and the intention can be specific after a while, but the intention is what is innately you, the I, saying, this is who I want to be, this is who I am. And that allows for things to align, go, oh, okay. So it's a big piece.
Yeah. And again, people sort of overlook it. They think, oh, whatever. But I truly believe, and again, through anecdotally seeing people and their healing journeys are much speedier when they have that intention, when they have that why, when they have goals that go beyond, I just don't want to be sick. A lot of times, sometimes even that may be in the subconscious, not really the truth, right?
Mhm.
Subconsciously, a lot of people, I do believe, attach themselves to their disease and lean on that. They've been out of, let's say, the workforce, or and kind of using that. Oh, I'm not going out because I'm sick, guys. I'm not doing this because I'm sick,
Oh, oh, that's huge. And
right?
gosh, I've got too many stories, 'cause I see it in the ER all the time.
Mm,
Um, and I think that is what started frustrating me the most is people not wanting, they owned their sickness. I have this. And they would come in because it was exacerbated or they thought it was. And there was no even awareness that who am I if I don't have this? It's not in their vernacular. It's
mm,
not in their relationships with their family. It's not in their relationship with work. It's not with, I'm like, I'm learning is what are you willing to give up to get what you want?
mm.
So for the medical or for physiological stuff, particularly if they're younger, kids would hold on to, we were learning that, a headache or stomach ache was a way of, kids with migraines, we learned that, we're learning that one reason maybe kids would get migraines is because that's when they got attention from their family.
Mm.
Maybe the parents were arguing and then Johnny got a headache and all of a sudden they weren't arguing with each other. They're trying to get him better. So that was calmed down and he was getting the attention. It wasn't a purposeful attention. It was kind of like, I have no way that I can get my parents to stop arguing.
Yeah.
So my body's like, here's a solution.
Yeah.
I'm a headache and I'm going to make them pay attention to you, maybe take you to the hospital, maybe dote on you. And so everyone can be calm now.
Mm.
And we don't realize these things come up. And you have to be saying, okay, who am I if I'm not, a diabetic or if I'm not, some itis or some chronic thing, because you have to be willing to give up what it's doing for you.
And that's kind of a beauty also of the intelligence of the body. The symptoms are warning bells. The symptoms are signs. Sometimes you need to be a detective to start to, find, well, migraine, could it be the family dynamic? And, that's a protective measure of sorts. But for many people, I think we go into this act of subdue symptoms immediately.
Mhm.
Don't question, don't ask. Headache,
Hey,
Advil. That's it. Tylenol, Advil, like anything, pain, just get rid of it. When we should be asking a lot more, what's this trying to tell me, right?
I think I said superpower, and that might be a little bit strong, but I would use words like anxiety or depression and pain. I got to find a better word than superpower right now, but they are in a sense
Yeah.
that they're like these beacons saying, "Okay, something's off. I'm trying to tell you something. Your body's here," like that, and it could be beautiful warning signs, like in an acute setting. They get you out of that state of danger, or they get you out of that behavior. But when we hold on to it, or we subdue it, or take it away, like painkillers or anti-anxiety medications, we don't actually get to fully feel it and learn through it and move through it and figure out what it's trying to tell us, because we don't want that feeling. We want to get rid of it right away. And we've got all these modalities and pills and things to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get rid of it.
Yeah.
All it does is it stuffs it down because it's going to come back up,
Yep.
and stuff it down again, come back up until we deal with it. And yeah, so symptoms are exactly that. They are telling your doctor, something. We're just not listening.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like we need to be much more introspective and much more intuitive with our bodies. I don't feel many people are in touch with that and don't even want to be. I find that interesting sometimes that people don't stop and just ask themselves questions in their head and are almost scared to. We distract ourselves all the time with media, with something else, with Netflix, all these things when even just like 5 to 10 minutes of asking, how do I feel today? What worked, what didn't? Am I feeling where in my body do I let me sense it and kind of, sit down, meditate and ask a question on it. That would be so helpful for everyone.
I used to joke, and I still kind of do, is we haven't been taught how to pay attention to our body. In fact, I mean, most of us don't even know when we have to go to the bathroom, like truly,
Sure.
or when we're hungry versus thirsty, when we're tired versus, you know, uh, thirsty. Could actually, there's just all these things that we have no connection. Like, when am I truly hungry? Or am I just, is this some Pavlovian response? Or am I just nervous? I mean, big categories. Yeah, we can also say, what this emotion feel like, but just basics, like we aren't tuning into our body. We're going by the clock. I shouldn't be hungry until this time. Or it's external signals that are telling us how to read our body versus, oh, this is what I'm feeling.
Mm,
At least in this society, I know there's other societies that they're more in tune to some of this, and cultures. From my experience growing up, even though I had kind of hippie parents, but it still wasn't a daily practice of, you know, what am I feeling?
yeah. And you're right. There are definitely cultures that do it, that slow things down and ask those questions and are incredibly introspective. A lot of Asian cultures, really value that. But it doesn't happen here. And it's one of the reasons I'm a proponent for traveling and seeing that, maybe opening your mind that, yes, it's not just like America everywhere. Things are different elsewhere, and you could actually benefit a lot from learning about that. Talking about what's out there in the world.